You're still watching SME on Point. Thank you so much to Nongceba Hlengani for our how-to series. She was taking us through how you can get your product into the shelves of retailers. If you want to watch this again, please come to our Facebook page. That is where we will be uploading it later today. So I can imagine that today excitement is very high among families and friends because most of you who have children who are in matric may have passed today, and congratulations to those who have passed to the class of 2021. Today we will be talking about why you should consider taking an entrepreneurship course this year. I'll be speaking to Dr. Roche Mamabolo. He is the founder of Laura School of Innovation and Entrepreneurship. He joins me via Zoom. Dr. Mamabolo, thank you so much for joining us on SME on Point as usual. Entrepreneurship is the way to go. Nongceba has just shown us at the age of 27 that entrepreneurship definitely is the way to go. You can develop products that can help people, and there is room for that growth, isn't there?
Absolutely. I think we need more of Hlengani in the country, because not only do they solve, some of these challenges that we have, but they also create the very much needed jobs that we are struggling with in our country. So I'm very happy to see such entrepreneurs taking the bulls by the horn.
Yeah. So someone would want to know, why is there an entrepreneurship course or a degree? I know that some universities do offer that, but it is not something that we are seeing a lot. How can you encourage the class of 2021 to look at that, and why should they look at that?
I think historically, entrepreneurship has not really been something that we have been intentional about developing as a country. And as a result, we have not really produced the much needed numbers of entrepreneurs. And slowly, we are making strides in that regard. I mean, when I went to university, for instance, I didn't know that you can actually do a bachelor's degree in entrepreneurship. And I was quite shocked in my second year that actually there is a degree like that. And I so wished I could have registered for that. But I think it's important, as a country, that we need to produce more and more entrepreneurs. I mean, if you look at the statistics, for instance, 66.5% of our youth are unemployed in the country, according to SABC. So unemployment is at a very all-time high in our country, obviously exacerbated by COVID. But I think one of the things that we need to do is, look for those opportunities either online or, institutions are introducing your entrepreneurship courses on you starting your own job instead of looking for a job. We need to have more young people who in their memory sticks, they are carrying business plans and pitch decks and not CVs, And I think for me, the opportunities are out there for these young people to come and start their own businesses. The era of jobs, really, even if you have a degree, it's no longer a guarantee that you'll get a job. I mean, about 23% of young people who are at home have tertiary degrees. 36.5 have matric certificates. So it's no longer a guarantee that because you have a degree, it's guaranteed that you'll get a job. I think we need to transition to creating.
Take us through the importance of, as an entrepreneur, having the schooling backing, understanding what it is really from a academic point of view to be an entrepreneur and the value thereof.
So one of the arguments is, are entrepreneurs born or made? Right? I mean, we run an entrepreneurship academy, and one of the things that we get asked a lot is, can you teach entrepreneurship? And people are of the view that actually you are born an entrepreneur. Either you're an entrepreneur or you're not an entrepreneur. We believe that you can actually teach the tools of entrepreneurship. You can give people tools on costing and pricing. You can teach them how to market their business. You can teach them on how to, do sales pitch, for instance. And that is very important, because if you have the tools on how to do this thing, you avoid some of the unnecessary mistakes that you would make along the way. And that is very important, especially if you are a startup with very limited funds. You don't have enough money to make mistakes. So if you are taught on how to do the correct pricing, you don't run a business for 5 years not knowing how to price correctly. And you run a business for 5 years not even knowing whether you're profitable or not. So, and educated entrepreneur has got a higher likelihood of succeeding in the market, because some of these mistakes that others have made in practice, they'll have learned through in the classroom. And of course, they'll make your own mistakes, but you won't make mistakes that have been made out there before.
Yeah. And just lastly, if one now is looking for an institution where they can study a course or entrepreneurship, what should they be looking into, or what should they look closely to, particularly with the curriculum? What are those things that are really important that will help them know that, okay, this is really what I need? Because everybody and anybody is offering entrepreneurship courses, but what are the fundamentals that you should be looking out for in an ideal course?
One of the things that they need to avoid, by all means, is theoretical. If there's a course out there that's just offering you only theoretical discipline, entrepreneurship is a practical discipline. You learn as you do. Right? So it's like riding a bicycle. You are not going to learn how to ride a bicycle in the classroom and you pass with distinctions and think that because you've passed with a distinction, you know how to ride a bicycle. You need to still go out there and get on top of that bicycle seat and ride. So very, very important is, does this institution offer me practical application? Practicality is absolutely, absolutely important that they need to look at. Of course, innovation, creativity, costing and pricing, those are absolutely important. But is it practical? Is it something that I can, as I'm learning, I'm applying, I'm making my own mistakes and I'm correcting them? By the time I finish this program, I would know how to do this, not just theoretically, but practically. That's very important.
Yeah, Dr. Roche Mamabolo, thank you so much for your time. Always a pleasure having you on SME On Point. That was Dr. Roche Mamabolo. He's the founder of the Laura School of Innovation and Entrepreneurship. We've been speaking to him about why the class of Matric 2021 should consider entrepreneurship studies as they move into the next step of their lives. This is SME On Point that you've been watching. Up next, we're going to be taking a look at your money on Market Sense.